This is one of the best wild edibles in all of North America, elderberry. This is Sambucus canadensis. There's other elderberries, but the taxonomy can be very confusing, so just know that all elderberries have edible, ripe fruits, these little berries here. And people will tell you, don't eat elderberry fruits raw. And maybe you should listen to that because they have cyanide in them, but the cyanide concentration of the ripe fruits is very low. You'd probably need to eat multiple times your body weight in the ripe fruits to do any damage from the cyanide. And cooking or drying them will effectively deactivate the cyanide. However, the green fruits could be risky, and definitely the rest of the plant has very high concentrations of cyanide. In fact, for that reason, it was used as a last resort emetic and laxative by certain natives, such as in Northern California. So a medicinal plant also as well, besides that, being used for the flowers for fevers specifically, but for many different ailments, and the fruits as well for fevers and many other. But I like to gather the fruits by snipping off an entire umbel. So I'll take scissors and cut it right there, and it'll drop into my bag, and then I'll allow them to dry completely on this umbel. And once they're dry, I can crumble them up in my hands, and then the berries will fall off and be separate from all these stems. And then the stems you can winnow off. You throw them up in a basket with a fan next to you or a nice wind, and then the wind will take away the lighter stems. So it's a very easy way to harvest and separate them. Fruits also make an excellent dye, nice and purple. The wood is very interesting because it has this spongy, low-density pith. So you can actually tear this out very easily and make a hollow tube. And you can actually use this pith as a tinder for fire starting. But the use of it for the hollow tubes included for flutes, for clapper sticks, for pipes, and for containers. And it has opposite compound leaves, each leaf with 5, 7, or 9 leaflets. Its stems have these big bumps on them. These are called lenticels. They're used for breathing, but it's very characteristic of this plant. In Central Texas, they ripen in midsummer. Right now it's July 18th, and they like wetter areas near creeks. So this is like a sandbar right next to a creek, and they tend to grow in patches rather than one by one. Many indigenous peoples ate elderberry species fruits. They were eaten fresh, cooked, or dried. They were cooked into sauces, jellies, and other dishes. They were gathered in large quantities, sun-dried, and stored for use year-round. Drying them whole on the umbel clusters and then winnowing off the stems when dried is actually a method used by the Coahuilla Sioux. You can use a similar technique for the flowers, where you gather whole clusters, put them in a paper bag, let them dry, and then shake the bag to release the flowers. That's a Coahuilla method. An infusion of the flowers was drunk as a pleasant tea by the Dakota, Coahuilla Sioux, Omaha, Ponca, and the Pawnee. The fresh flower clusters can be simply dipped into hot water for this beverage. Now, herbalist books on the internet are absolutely chock full of medicinal uses for elderberry. I think that one reason for this is that the black elderberry, Sambucus nigra, is common in Europe and has a long recorded history of herbalist use there. The American elderberry has formerly been classified as a subspecies of black elderberry, but it is a distinct species with a different phytochemical profile. These are the indigenous American medicinal uses of elderberries I found in my research. As mentioned, an infusion or decoction of the flowers was used to break a fever. The Haudenosaunee used the fruits instead. An infusion or decoction of the flowers was also drunk for upset stomach, colds, flu, and tuberculosis. And the use of elderberry for colds and flu is common in modern herbal medicine. A decoction of the roots with the bark was drunk by the Cherokee for diarrhea and by the Coahuilla and Dakel for constipation, and used as a wash by the Coahuilla for healing open sores and cuts. And as mentioned, the use of elderberry inner bark was used as a last resort medicine to quickly cause vomiting or laxative effects. The bark, stems, and leaves have high concentrations of cyanide, so this is very dangerous, thus its consideration as a last resort medicine. Dye and tubes, as mentioned, were the main material uses of the plant. Basketry materials were dyed a purplish black color by soaking the splints in an infusion or decoction of the fruits. For a yellow or orange color, though, the stems were used instead. The pith was removed from large stem sections to make containers, flutes. I have a couple of flutes that I've made of elderberry myself here. Syringes, squirt guns, clapping sticks, whistles, pop guns, and blowguns. So this was from elderberry gathered in California. Let's see if I can make it. I can't actually play the flute. I mean, I can make noises sometimes. Cue the Titanic goofy flute music. No, these can sound good. I made it happen, I swear. They're not attuned to any particular notes. They're just sort of random holes, but they're beautiful. And as you can see, for these, I mainly had to just hollow out that soft pith, but for like this one on the left, I did some additional wood removal with a file actually in this one. And another cool use for them I've used this for is for pipes. You could take a section, this is where the branch comes off of the main stem. You cut that branch right there. There's actually a second one, I'll show you in a second. And then you gouge out that bowl and then carve a hole to meet that central tube. It's like a steamroller. But I put a double bowl on this one because it had two stems coming off. And look at these crazy formations it's got. I have some more regular ones actually. Well, this one's still in the process of construction. I haven't finished gouging out that bowl and connecting it with this central area. See right there, that's the soft pith that you have to remove. So a long metal rod is good for getting that out, and then I'll probably have to bore a hole on this side to fully remove it. But this is like a nice little calumet or something. Anyway, those are the uses of elderberry. Hope you enjoyed it. All right, that's it for today, y'all. Please watch some more videos on my channel, or if you want some serious depth of info, check out my Patreon. I also have exclusive member videos, a website, an online shop where I sell my artwork on merch. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.